just 7 players left in the Pokerstars Sunday Million, gunning for that first prize of $200,000. Hi everyone, Ace is up here for PokerNerve.com. We are down to the final part of this series. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we are going to get back into the action. We just, you would recall, end of last part, won a pretty big pot without a showdown when we 4-bet jammed the Ace-King. And we pick up the Queen 10 suited now. We see a raise from Black Aces from fairly early position. Close one. Yeah, I think just folding is probably the way to go, even though we have seen Black Aces be pretty active. And Daft Daft lays down the law there with one of his massive jams. It's funny because we did see him do that very small 3-bet out of position against Black Aces earlier, and then bet turn, bet river like he had a big hand. So you got to wonder, like, what does he min raise with as opposed to just massive jam? You know, I would guess the min raise before was like aces or kings, and then the massive jam is like ace king or ace queen. He just doesn't want to see flops, but he's a little bit hard to predict. What do you guys think he had? Any jams there on Svensk? Pocket eights. M9 open. And not really minding here this time is Svensk jams. Obviously he's short again. Kind of similar to before. A little bit deeper this time, but our hand is obviously stronger, a little bit stronger than King 10 with pocket eights. So we would have gone for it, but they folded. So got 9 million. Back up to M10, feeling pretty good about things here. 7-handed in the Sunday Million with M10. We're coming 4th? 4 of 7. But stacks are pretty close together, with the exception of Daft Daft. He's pretty clear. I think with the pocket 3s here, I would like to have seen an open here. Yeah, I definitely think with how tight these guys are playing, probably opening here is fine. Daft Daft doesn't seem like the sort of player to put pressure. He seems like the sort of player that's just waiting for a big hand and then just playing it fairly straightforwardly. And I think Black Aces has just got a little bit of a handcuffing stack size. He could, if we make it 800,000, I guess he could pop out sort of 1.85 or something, 1.85 mil, put us under pressure and 3-bet. He could probably do that, but yeah, I think, and Mad Max, yeah, I mean, he might defend, but he folded a few big blinds, I've noticed, so I think that could have been an open. Having said that, it might be a good thing we folded because Jeremus opens, he's been pretty tight. And look at this, Mad Max goes ahead and puts in, makes it 3.2 mil, like over a quarter of his stack, and yeah, Jeremus calls. So I think Jeremus might be like leveling himself here and going, oh, this guy's just a bit of a crazy. Yeah, this guy cray. I'm just going to call. But he might have a legit hand because he does pop it up. He does jack it up on the flop. And so maybe he's just trapping him, or maybe he flopped big time. What do you guys think they've got? Jeremus Ace Jack or Pocket 7s? And Mad Max Pocket 8s or Ace 9 or something like that? Well, what about King 7? He jacked that one right up pre-flop, got called by the 6s, had a stab on the flop, and then the 6s have just smacked him around with the flop raise on the Jack 10-7 board. Bit of ownage there. And Jeremus gets away with theft there, and Mad Max got himself in deep. Living up to his name, that's for sure. But having said that, I'm not quite sure how Jeremus called pre-flop. It turned out well for him, but the pre-flop call for a large portion of his stack, I'm not sure if he thought he was set mining or if he's just going to decided Mad Max is too crazy and he's going to make moves post, but it worked out for him, I guess. 2-3 here, folding that one. Not going to do any crazy Mad Max stuff with that. King 8. Looks like an easy call here, getting over 4-to-1 pot odds. Oh, that's a tight one. I guess at the time I was thinking, well, I'll be out of position against the Madman with an SPR of close to 2, with a hand that's probably going to have a lot of variance with a high bubble factor, and I'm crazy tired, so I don't want to make any mistakes, so I'm just going to play this one a bit tight. 4-9 off. Mad Max opening again. Jeremus defends. Folds to a C-bet. To Mad Max's credit, I mean, he has been putting the pressure on. He has been... He does seem like... And here he goes again. He has seemed like a bit of a loose cannon, but I do think his strategy, though, is not that bad at the final table of the Sunday Millions, because players normally play pretty solid. Feel like Black Aces, I feel like that's his steal spot, like UTG there against the short stack big blind. I think he's opening wide there, to be honest. But there wasn't really too much we could do with ace deuce. I mean, it would be pretty cheeky to attack him there. Queen 6, I fold it. And we see Daf. Come on, Daf, please. Let us ladder up here. Bust Svensk. Bust him, damn it. Oh, not good, not good. So this, again... So he opens and he's got M. Y. There's 1.1 in there. So this time he's a little bit shorter than when we... I know I keep keep bringing up the King 10 hand, but I just think it's good to... There's this a similar spot keeps popping up. I think that this is definitely a call this time if we had King 10, and I think ace 8 is a pretty easy call just because, well, it's only 1.8 million to call, is it? 2 million to call, so he only needs 35% equity, and even with the ICM, especially as a big stack, it doesn't damage his stack, and Svenska's got himself even shorter. But it's just a pity that the ace ball, where's the ace one time? You know how there's also an ace of diamonds on the river all the time? Where was it this time? Would have been an extra 20,000 in our pocket. Put down an ace, give us $20,000 for an ace. That's a hell of a bet. One ace, $20,000. I think probably we could have opened here. Yeah, I would like to have seen an open there. We just suited a jam from Black Aces there on Mad Max. Fold there. Mad Max jams again on Alex Toon. Forgot Alex Toon was there, but he's still got 7 million, so he must be doing something right. He's not out of it yet. Fold the 10-3 there. I think Black Aces is playing pretty good, to be honest. His stealing frequency is good. Picking spots, staying active. I think Mad Max is playing pretty good as well, despite him being a bit of a loose cannon. It folds around here. We've got Jack 7 and M6.5. I wouldn't mind a limp here. I think a limp is... Well, actually, to be honest, I think we can even raise just because Jeremus has been pretty tight. Yeah, we could probably just make it, 1.25 here. And I think it's not a stack size that I would generally raise that much off of, but I think Jeremus has been pretty solid, and I feel like he's kind of sitting pretty snug, and he's happy with the stack, and he's happy with the way things are going, and he knows Mad Max is a bit of a maniac, and I don't think he's going to go out of his way to attack us too wide or get involved in pots that with marginal hands. And I'm just speculating here about that, but that's just looking at this replay again now. That's sort of the feeling that I'm getting. And so with that in mind, I guess we could have just raised, and if he jam folded, if he does call, it'd be tricky, but we just fire a C-bet and get a lot of leverage out of a C-bet post-flop. Having said that, I think limping is fine as well. I'm pretty close between the two, limping and then stabbing. But he is a big stack, so he can put pressure on us pretty easily. And I did fold at the time, which again, going back to what I was saying with the blind strategy that I had at the time, as well as being really tired, looks like I've just gone for the sort of safe, easy option. And if you do want to hear more about my strategy now and see live streams and see a whole lot of reviews like this, make sure you check out the PokerNerve VIP channel. We have some good times in there, so make sure you sign up to that. Ace 2 here, pretty easy open. Please fold, please fold. Daf, come on, man. What are you doing to us? What are you doing to us? Asserting pressure, as you should be against aces up trying to steal. So no joy there with that steal. But not too much we could do about it, seemed pretty standard. Mad Max, he's he's at it again. And this time he's gone for... His raise is not consistent, because before he would have made it 2 million, wouldn't he? Because he was doubling the open. But this time he's gone the full 3.5x and obviously committed himself to the pot. And interestingly, well, not surprisingly, Black Aces opened again in that UTG spot. He's loving that UTG spot as a steal. And I must say it's not a bad spot to steal. But he didn't get away with it this time, because the madman was there. And hopefully some of you guys at the final table, I'd love for Mad Max to be sitting there watching this now. He's probably thinking, aces up, you're an idiot. He's probably right, I don't know. But it'd be funny, I think. Give me a shout out if you're watching Mad Max, or any of you guys. Mad Max at it again. He's relentless. Loving his style. A little bit lucky he hasn't spewed and busted yet, but it's been working so far. And what does he have here? The King 9. Gets Daft to fold the A7. Moving on, 8-5 suited UTG, folding that one. We see a jam here from Svensk. And yeah, pretty standard stuff there. He's short. Goes all in, puts the pressure on, they fold. 3-8 suited. Not too much to be done here. King 10. It's back. It's back to haunt us. Oh, lordy, lordy. Wow. I think when I looked at this hand before, I actually did this recording ages ago, and funnily enough, I didn't actually... The battery died in the mic, so when I started recording this session, I made sure the battery was a new battery, and it had died by the time I got to this hand, but I had already seen it. So I remember thinking, actually saying that I think we can fold here. But going through this review again now, and remembering this hand from when I looked at it, I actually remember saying that I think that this is okay to be folding. But I think now I'm actually sort of leaning towards actually saying that this is probably better to be jamming. And if you think back again to the hand that we reviewed with Svensk when we had King 10, we said that the correct strategy should be to jam really wide if he knows how wide we're opening. And I think that's the case here, where Mad Max is just out of control when he's opening really wide. That being the case, we should punish him for that. We've got just enough chips, just enough to get some decent fold equity. And, you know, hey, if he does call and he's got, you know, he's probably going to call with like an ace-9 or pocket sixes and stuff, ace-jack and stuff like that. We're going to have we got a bit of equity working on our side. It's not like we've got complete trash. So I actually would like to have seen a jam here. The other reason why as well is just that we are the shortest stack. So I think that we do have to sort of make a move. And if he does fold, there's just so much dead money out there, 2.1 million. Like we almost pick up half our stack just from getting him to fold. And he did fold to our short stack jam before. Having said that, we have jammed him a couple of times, and he might be, now that he's got, you know, a bit of a buffer on us, he might be willing to try and call a little bit wider. And he is the madman after all. I can see why I would have folded. The other thing is too, I think that I've seen him sort of get a bit out of control and sort of think, well, he's going to bust someone soon. Like this table's starting to loosen up now. So maybe we can just wait and ladder up a couple more spots and get a whole bunch of extra monies. But I think I would have preferred to have seen myself go for it, to be honest. We've had a lot of those really fringe spots, haven't we? We've had a lot of those sort of spots where if I was playing now, I actually would do something a little bit different to what I did at the time. I don't think any of them are sort of epic errors or anything, but it's just interesting reviewing it now, sort of a fair while after it happened, a couple of years later down the track, after this tournament was played, and just having a look at how my strategy's changed. But not only that, also the fact that, like I said, I was pretty crazy tired when I was playing this, and that also could be a factor as well to me potentially making some sort of marginal or debatable plays. Questionable plays. Questionable folds, questionable calls. But that is all part of the fun of reviewing this sort of tournament, is looking back and seeing what you did and having a think about it now. And reliving the excitement of the Sunday Moon final table with pocket 8s and M4. Only one thing to be done.
Aces up with pocket 8s. Aces up 4108 is a W Coupe champion. Won a No Limit Omaha High-Low event back in 2010. He's all in here for his tournament life, his last 4.6 million chips. So just over 9 big blinds. And I imagine he is going to get called by black aces with pocket jacks. He does get called. Pot 9.9 million. And I've always wondered, what is better, aces up or black aces? We'll find out. Well, so far black aces in the lead. Aces up, looking for an 8. A 5 or an 8 now, but it can't be a heart. 6 of spades on the river, and that is it for aces up. Once again, aces up, the W Coupe champion. Adds a 7th place finish to his poker resume at the Sunday Million. He'll also add $31,676 to his bankroll, and we are down to 6.
Looking back at the payouts now, I see actually top 3 did a deal. I thought it was top 5, but top 3. Wish we had have been up there. A decent score nonetheless, and I'll try to make the final table again before the turn of the decade and play a bit better next time. At the end especially, could have made some better decisions, I think. But nevertheless, it's been fun reliving it with you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the series. Please like and subscribe, and I'll keep the MTT reviews coming. Until next time, this has been Aces Up for PokerNerve.com. Want to take your game to the next level? Make sure you check out our MTT poker course. And please like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching.